Just when you thought a win with 5 seconds left was the most clutch thing that could happen in Boston today, as the Patriots defeated the New Orleans Saints on a Tom Brady touchdown pass with 5 seconds left in the game. The Boston Red Sox outdo the Detroit Tigers, coming back from a 5-0 deficit where they were no hit through the first 5 2/3 of this game to get a 6-5 win and even up the series and completely take momentum in an ALCS that fell essentially over 7.5 innings into this game. I'm Tim Kelly. This is the Real Sports Talk. Thank you guys for tuning in. One of the most crazy playoff games I've ever watched. After the Tigers, between Anibal Sanchez and the Tigers bullpen, one hit the Red Sox last night in Game 1 of the ALCS to take a 1-0 lead. The Tigers looked well on their way to taking a 2-0 lead in the series to head home for the next 3 games with Justin Verlander on the mound for Game 3. And it really felt like this series, I don't want to say it's over. It's a 7-game series. You're down 2-0. Anything can happen, but 2-0 with Justin Verlander, who is red hot in the Oakland series, coming up. It's not very likely that you're going to be able to come back from that deficit, because there's a very good chance that you end up going down 3-0. And it all started today. Alex Avila had an RBI single in the second inning. So it was a 1-0 game. Max Scherzer was on his game, locked in, and in the 6th inning, the Tigers' bats exploded. Miguel Cabrera hits a 347-foot bomb over the Green Monster in left field to take a 2-0 lead. Victor Martinez follows that, doubling into right center field to score Prince Fielder, who got on base, and then Alex Avila caps the inning off with a 423-foot home run over the short porch in right field to give the Tigers a 5-0 lead. And with how locked in Max Scherzer was, he had a no-hitter at that time, it really felt like this game was over. Scherzer would lose a no-hitter that inning. Still, though, he went 7 innings of 2-hit ball, only gave up 1 run on a Dustin Pedroia double off the wall, escaped some trouble in the 6th inning, and then, it really felt like 5-1, this game is over. Instead, in the 8th inning, the Tigers bullpen runs into trouble. Drew Smiley and Jose Veras really ran into trouble. Veras allowed 1 runner to get on. He only faced 1 guy. Smiley only faced 1 guy. He walked him, so that put Will Middlebrooks and Jacoby Ellsbury on base. And then Al Albuquerque allowed Dustin Pedroia to reach base as well on a single. They did not send him, after Pedroia singled into right field, they did not send Middlebrooks from third base, and I really questioned it. But David Ortiz came on, and I was watching the game with my dad, who's actually a Tigers fan, and he said something to me like, God, David Ortiz is going to step up here and hit a damn grand slam. And it's one of those things you always say with someone who's had the playoff pedigree of a David Ortiz, but you don't really think it's going to happen. And what do you know? Joaquin Benoit, instead of Phil Koch, Joaquin Benoit comes on for the 4-out save. The first pitch he throws was one of the most ill-calculated pitches that I've seen in baseball history. The first pitch he throws is a fastball right down the middle. David Ortiz smokes it over the right center field wall, just past the outstretched glove of Torrey Hunter, who ends up in the bullpen, and the Red Sox tie the game at 5, seize all momentum, and then in the bottom of the 9th, Johnny Gomes reaches third after singling and then getting a few wild pitches to advance into third. Johnny Gomes, he's grounded out. There was the ball thrown away by Jose Iglesias, reached second, and then got to third on a wild pitch, or a pass ball, I'm not sure how they scored it. And then Jared Saltalamacchia, who's in a contract year, really helps him out. A game-winning RBI single past Iglesias to win this game, and all of a sudden we have a series again, because it felt like 2-0 with Justin Verlander coming up Game 3, 3 games at Comerica. You have to win at least 2 of them to even keep the series alive, let alone have a chance of actually winning the series. It felt like this series was over. It really did. And the Red Sox really put something together. This is a special Red Sox team coming off a 69-win season last year with Bobby Valentine at the helm. One of the biggest disaster seasons. They were a last-place team. A lot of people, myself included, really didn't feel like they would even compete in a stacked AL East this year, and we are wrong, because they brought in some gritty veteran guys who have been there, like Shane Victorino, like Johnny Gomes. Johnny Gomes is one of the best energy guys in the entire MLB. They brought in Mike Napoli, and then they got Jacoby Ellsbury healthy. David Ortiz got healthy, and all of a sudden they have a pretty damn good team out there in Boston that has rebounded. They are now 3 wins away from the World Series, and I mean, again, it's tied 1-1. You would still think going back to Detroit for the next 3 games with Justin Verlander on the mound to start things, and in general, the Tigers just have a better rotation. You would think that this pushes Anibal Sanchez probably into pitching Game 4. Maybe they go with Doug Fister, who was pretty solid in the playoffs last year, but I would think they go back to Anibal Sanchez for Game 4. We'll see what ultimately happens, but it's a series again. There's no doubt about it. It's very good for the Tigers that they don't have another game tomorrow, that they get that travel day to kind of regroup, rebuild off this, because David Ortiz just hit one of the most classic home runs in what has been a classic playoff career for him. I'm not a David Ortiz fan. I'm not a fan of really anyone involved with performance-enhancing drugs, but he has been one of the best playoff performers in MLB history, and he added on to that legacy tonight with that bomb into right center field, which I just can't stop watching. And really, if you watch the replay, Torrey Hunter, the effort was incredible. Torrey Hunter has been one of the most fun players. He's been one of the best outfielders, fielding outfielders, especially when he was a center fielder in Minnesota over the last 10 or 15 years. And this play, he just simply, he gave a great effort, but he overran it. If you look at where his glove was, if you watch a really up-close replay, he was really close to getting this ball. If you just watch it, the normal replay, it looks like he made a great attempt, but he really didn't have a great shot at the ball. Had he not taken like one more step, the ball was just over his glove, and it might have still gone over his glove, but he had to reach back behind him, which is one of the reasons why it looked so bad when he fell into the bullpen. Had that not happened, had he been able to time it just a little bit better, he may have caught that ball, he might have fallen into the bullpen, I don't know what happens, but he would have had a better chance at catching that ball. Instead, David Ortiz ties the game, Jared Saltalamacchia breaks that tie, and the Boston Red Sox tie the ALCS in what has been a tremendous MLB playoffs thus far to send this game back, or this series back to Detroit, tied 1-1. I'm Tim Kelly. This is A Real Sports Talk. Facebook.com/ARealSportsTalk. Section215.com. And hit me up on Twitter at CashKelly_TRST, KASHKelly_TRST. Subscribe, share, like, make me some money because I need it. I'll hit you guys up next time.